China-Arab Summit and its ramifications. Is China increasing its presence and dominance on the world stage? What about the US? And how these are connected with end-time Bible prophecy? Coming up. Hello, Pastor Georgy here from Pointed to Eternity, and welcome back to another Strategic Trends update. See, in the last days, according to Bible prophecy, in Daniel chapter 7, Daniel chapter 11, Revelation chapter 16, we see that the world will be divided into three main power blocks. In that, one will be the kings from the east, which Bible prophecy scholars consider China to be their leader. And another thing is that we don't see the US as the superpower or even among that Western power bloc. Due to some reason, the US as we know now is absent from what is happening at that time in the world. See, this update is related to some things that happened in the last week which pertain to these things. Last week, the China-Arab Summit met in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia from December 7th to 9th, which will pave the way for increased cooperation between China and the Arab countries. Strengthening ties with China, focus of Sino-Arab Summit. China and Saudi Arabia signed 12 agreements and memorandum of understandings in various fields, including green energy, green hydrogen, renewable sources of energy, information technology, 5G, cloud services, Chinese language education, direct investment, radio, television, digital economy, economic development, news coverage, etc. This is in addition to signing 9 agreements and MOUs between the government and private sectors and signing 25 agreements between private sector companies in the two countries. The two countries discussed free trade agreement between the GCC and China. They discussed China's Belt and Road Initiative and enhancing the kingdom's location as a regional center for Chinese companies in producing and exporting energy products. Saudi Arabia called on Chinese businesses to establish its regional headquarters in the kingdom. They also agreed to enhance cooperation in a number of fields, including automotive industry, supply chains, logistics, water desalination, infrastructure, manufacturing, mining, and the financial sector to benefit from trade and investment opportunities aligned with Vision 2030 and the Belt and Road Initiative. The Arab nations are hoping to participate in Beijing's Silk and Road Initiative, linking Asia to Africa via the Arab world. Ultimately, the Silk Road Initiative will also tie into China's Belt and Road Initiative, linking China to Europe. The two countries stated the importance of resolving the Russian conflict with Ukraine, agreed on the need to strengthen cooperation to ensure the peaceful nature of Iran's nuclear program. Regarding the crisis in Yemen, China praised Saudi Arabia's initiative to end the war and acknowledged its efforts and initiatives aimed at encouraging dialogue between Yemeni parties. The two sides stressed the need to intensify efforts to reach a political solution to the Syrian crisis. And on Lebanon, the two sides affirmed their concern for the security, stability, and unity of Lebanon and prevent Lebanon from becoming incubators for terrorist organizations. Saudi Arabia's Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman said that Arab countries seek to improve cooperation with China and look forward to a new phase of partnership. Meanwhile, Xi Jinping said that summit will lead to a brighter future, adding that China seeks comprehensive cooperation with Arab states to serve Chinese-Arab mutual interests. Egyptian President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi also highlighted the significance of Arab-Chinese ties, saying coordination with China must be increased to resolve regional and international crises. Xi also called on Ethiopia to engage in reaching a final solution to the issue of the Renaissance Dam. Egypt and Sudan view it as a threat because of their dependence on Nile waters, while Ethiopia deems it essential for its electrification and development. Meanwhile, Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas said he stands with China against the malicious campaigns China is facing. On the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, Abbas condemned Israel's attempt to alter the Arab identity of Jerusalem and said Israel must be held accountable for its violations. He also said that the international community must boycott any Israeli government that does not recognize peace. And on the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, he said the historical injustice which the Palestinian people have endured must not go on, adding that China supports the establishment of a Palestinian state along the 1967 borders with East Jerusalem as its capital. Look how China wants to divide Israel and how its policy is anti-Israel. And one of the most important developments, China Xi calls for oil trade in yuan at Gulf Summit in Riyadh. Xi Jinping told Gulf Arab leaders that China would work to buy oil and gas in yuan, a move that would support Beijing's goal to establish its currency internationally and weaken the US dollar's grip on world trade. Xi said Beijing would continue to import large quantities of oil from Gulf Arab countries and expand imports of liquefied natural gas. He also said that China would also make full use of the Shanghai Petroleum and National Gas Exchange as a platform to carry out yuan settlement of oil and gas trade. China has been lobbying for use of its yuan currency in trade instead of the US dollar for some time. And one of the things that should happen for the rollout of the worldwide one world currency system is the removal of dollar as the currency for world trade. Already many countries like China, Russia, etc. are calling out for the removal of the dollar as the international currency for world trade. Top oil exporter Saudi Arabia and economic giant China both sent strong messages to the US during Xi's visit on non-interference at a time when Riyadh's relationship with Washington has been tested over human rights, energy policy, and also Russia. China's growing influence in the Gulf has unnerved the United States. Xi was greeted with pomp and ceremony, and he attended a wider summit with leaders of Arab League countries spanning the Gulf, Levant, and Africa. Prince Mohammed heralded a historic new phase of relations with China, a sharp contrast with the awkward US-Saudi meetings 5 months ago when President Joe Biden attended a smaller Arab summit in Riyadh. Just look who came to welcome Joe Biden when he came to Saudi Arabia 5 months ago? The governor of Mecca. But who came to welcome Xi Jinping when he came last week to Saudi Arabia? Saudi Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman. Though Saudi Arabia officially says that they are not choosing any sides referring to US and China, China clearly is making inroads into the Middle East and wants to be a power player with its interests in the Middle East region. Saudi Arabia and its Gulf allies have defied US pressure to limit dealings with China and break with fellow OPEC plus oil producer Russia over its invasion of Ukraine as they try to navigate a polarized world order with an eye on national, economic, and security interests. So what we see here is China increasing its dominance and presence on the world stage. And where else to exert it other than the Middle East, the most pivotal region in the world? And if you are a student of Bible prophecy, such things should get your attention. How is the rise and expansion of China relevant? See, sometime back, we had done an update where we discussed the rise of 3 power blocks in the last days. I'll give that link in the description so you can check out that video. And how do we see China in Bible prophecy? We have done another update and analysis looking at how China is mentioned in Bible prophecy. I'll give that link also in the description down below. And while you are watching those, if you happen to like these updates and analysis, be sure to like and subscribe and also turn on that bell notification so that you be alerted whenever updates, analysis, Q&As, Bible studies are posted on this same channel. You see, we need to realize that in the last days, as per Bible prophecy, We don't see the US as a world superpower. There might be many reasons for its absence on the world stage at that time. It may have crumbled due to some civil war, or due to some foreign enemy's attack, or crumbled due to moral degradation. The US has already been on the decline for some time. And are these things also pointing in that same direction? And by the way, there is a godly remnant even now in the US. And because of that, may the Lord show grace to that country. And we don't want to close this update without giving any hope. One can have hope only if he or she is a born-again believer in Jesus Christ. The hope for a truly born-again child of God is that Jesus' appearance in the heavens, the rapture, wherein Jesus is coming in the mid-heavens to take away his true church, that event is so close. Check out our teachings on this same channel on the rapture, the Gog-Magog invasion timing, etc. You can check out all those videos in our archives. And I just want to encourage you, live each day looking unto Jesus alone and pleasing Jesus alone, and also sharing the good news of Jesus Christ with others also. Amen. May the Lord help us all for that. And always remember, you only one life. Make it count for Jesus. And by the way, if you are blessed by this message, be sure to hit that like button. And also, if you are not yet subscribed, kindly subscribe by pressing that subscribe button and also pressing that bell notification so that you would continue to receive blessed messages and updates like this on this same channel.